Hi, this is part 2 of TPE 6, developing as a professional educator. So in the first video, I briefly talked about some of the universal elements in that artifact. I'm going to continue talking about those and the mild moderate elements that I really focused in that artifact. So as I was saying, Universal 6.3, establishing professional 6.4, sorry, demonstrating how and when to involve other adults and to communicate effectively with peers and colleagues, families, and members of the larger school community to support teacher and student learning, excuse me. So one of my goals that I wrote was learning about the services offered on campus regarding homelessness, foster care, trauma, incarceration. So in the beginning of the school year, I had no idea some of the services that were offered because, as mentioned, I did start when we were in distance learning. Wasn't really familiar with the school campus, so I didn't know what those services look like on campus. So as time progressed, I reached out to a lot of different service providers and to see what exactly, what we offer on our school campus. We have a wellness center that our students can utilize when they are experiencing an emotional crisis. We do have that center for them. We have an emotional health counselor, our ERMS, emotional related health services. We also have, our counseling team. Some of the services that are offered is we have a specific counselor that works with our students that are identified as foster youth. We're able to see this in our staff portal. When we log in, we're able to see on Synergy which students are identified as a foster youth. They meet every month and then they have meetings. There's a lot of different activities that go on for our foster youth. We have just this last one, since we're in the month of December, they had they were able to interview some of the kids, ask them what do they want for Christmas, and they had a wish list that was circulating our campus that our counselor shared, and each one of the staff members pitched in. Some wanted a gift card to In-N-Out, some wanted a gift card to Forever 21, some wanted a gift card to Starbucks. So it was little things like that I never knew what was going on campus, the larger community outside of special education and my department in math. So it was really good that I was able to reach out to these individuals on campus, figure out like what exactly is offered for homelessness. We do have a particular counselor that addresses homelessness in our particular portal. We identify those students as McKinney-Vito students, McKinney-Vito students, and that's how we identify them. There's a lot of programs for them offered on campus. We do have clothing drives. We do have things in place for our homeless students, our foster care students that have experienced trauma in any shape or form. So those are just a few of the things that I have listed that eventually I myself took into account, did my research and made sure, like, if I didn't know this information, let me go find this out so that my students are aware of what's offered on campus, because I never wanted to be misinformed or not knowledgeable what goes on campus, because it wouldn't be beneficial. It would be actually a disservice to my students if I didn't know what the services, programs are provided for students on campus. So that was Universal 6.4, as well as mild moderate. So this is a mild moderate element. 6.1, demonstrating the ability to coordinate and collaborate effectively with paraprofessionals and other adults in the classroom. So I had touched a little bit on this when I had mentioned utilizing an instructional aid in my lessons when I didn't have one for the first 5 weeks or so in this semester, and really trying to figure out how can I incorporate my instructional aid in an everyday basis because he is with me from periods 1 through 3 daily. So figuring out ways that my students can truly benefit from this additional help, as well as I have one student that actually has a health aid, and he has a transcriber. So this student has his individual one-to-one help, but there was times where one adult is able to take care of his needs, and I would utilize another adult, that adult in the classroom. So it was, it wasn't like I at times didn't feel like I was alone. I found a way to still, if I was down an aid, then I figured out a way to incorporate, another aid into the classroom. So, like I said, this semester has definitely been a lot of bumps in the road, but I figured out a way to make it work so that I'm, doing the best that I can for my students, meeting their needs, and I'm able to, learn from this, grow as a professional. That's all I, expect of myself, to just keep, evolving and not just stay, the same. 10 years from now, when I'm still in this field, I don't want to be, look back and say I'm still doing things the same. I want to constantly be that teacher that's, hearing feedback and seeing how I can change, how I can improve. When I hear this, from other teachers, when they tell me, this is something, you can use in your classroom, I take everything I can, because I don't ever want to stop learning. I think one of the main things I really want to focus on, in my professional, field, in this field as an educator, is that I don't ever want to stop, improving. I don't ever want to reach a point where I tell myself, like, that's it, you've learned enough. Like, I don't think I'll ever stop, obtaining information, acquiring knowledge, researching. I think I'm going to be a learner for for the rest of my life. And you know what? It's only going to benefit me and my students.